Guys, it's Vicarious Alex here. Time for Alex's day off. A long weekend review. Because I, once again, get to recommit to a daily vlog. And in doing so, I get to recap. So here is a recap. Thursday the 21st. Now that was the last, Wednesday was the last day. Thursday, I'm going to recap all this stuff for you. So, I woke up in Arizona near the Antelope Canyon in Page, Arizona. Woke up pre-dawn wake up to try to hit the canyons early. Well, they didn't open until 8 a.m. So I got there around 6 o'clock in the morning and just drove around in circles taking photos of things that no one's even seen because they weren't that awesome compared to everything else I saw that day. Plus, I haven't really been posting very much. I mean, this weekend has been really intense. So eventually met someone in line. Evelyn. Met someone in line, Evelyn, and she was another enthusiast taking photos. Traveled from Spain to get here. Talked to her, made the line what it was. Went down to the canyon with her. She took photos of me. I took photos of her, but I don't have her contact info. She only has mine, so we'll see what happens with that. Spent the morning down there. It was gorgeous and beautiful, and I felt like I didn't have enough time in there. Only about an hour and a half. You have to take a tour, which I didn't know until I got there. That the top canyon is the one that you want to see. The upper canyon is the one you really want to see, and I didn't get to see that canyon. I went to the lower canyon because the upper canyon was completely booked. That you really kind of want to spend the money and get a photo pass or spend a couple of days there to take photos. It's very hard to take photos because the canyon is packed with people. What else about that canyon? I mean, it's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning, amazing, and I felt like I was just pushed right through. Like there was a group in front of us, a group behind us, and they were just like, you gotta push right through that. So that was a little annoying. After that, that Evelyn told me about Horseshoe Bend, which was only like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from Antelope Canyon. I just sat there for like an hour, and it was the wind was just hitting me, and it was just gorgeous, and took a bunch of photos, and really she gets to send me some of those photos because she took a lot of me with her camera, and I really want to do that. Maybe I should edit her so I can easily send them once I get her information. But anyways, did that, got some barbecue, and then it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I needed to get to Salt Lake City to meet up with my friend Adrian, who's here, and got here around like 9 p.m. It was a long drive. It was like a 6-hour drive, plus, you know, the time that I was spending not driving. So when I would go to the gas station and all that good stuff, right? So that was Thursday. Rapid review. 4 minutes. Doing pretty good. Friday, oh my god. So Adrian got me a VIP pass to go see Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and a bunch of people who were trying to sell me their plans, and Kevin something from Shark Tank. Phenomenal. All I know is so freaking cold in there. This is like one of the biggest things that I can retain here. So I had a vest on instead of a jacket and long sleeve shirt and stuff, and I got dropped off there and immediately wish I brought my jacket because it was freezing inside of this stadium. It was an ice rink that they put down boards to do the presentation, but they didn't have anything on the ground between you and the board. like nothing. So people were paying, I mean, $500, $1,000, I think, for the front row. Like big money to get their feet frozen, and like guys trying to sell them weekend plans to make all the money. Like, oh, you get to make all the money. Buy into our weekend plan and you'll make all the money. So I really wanted to buy into one of their plans, but luckily I didn't live anywhere close to here, and they sounded so great. Like, we give you all the money up front. We take 2% of earnings, and you just make money. You just print money, selling real estate or getting into the stock market, and see this system that you can get into and buy and sell stocks using the system. It's like a foolproof system. Whew. Well, I may be a fool, but this is foolproof. So I really wanted to do that for a while, and I'm glad that didn't happen. Most of this, the talks, I mean, it was all-day event, 12-hour event, even longer than that. And most of the talks were that. I did meet, like, the people who were sitting next to me, which was nice. And then Gary Vee came out, and oh my God, I was like shivering because I was so cold, but I like didn't want to move. I was just like, I need to retain this information. Forgot all of it. I'm really happy that he films like all of his keynotes, and I did get onto like Daily V like in the background. Like, that was super exciting. I got to see that today. And today is Tuesday. So anyway, so like he posted that Daily V today, and so I got to watch myself like taking photos, because I think that's all I was doing in the video. And his talk was awesome. He like trashed like all the people that were trying to sell you stuff before that, and then like after he came out, this guy was like selling books, and I'm like, what the and it was like an hour. He got like an hour to sell you his system to sell books, and he's like all these amazing things. Like he had a PowerPoint presentation that hasn't been updated since that Doritos commercial where like the baby shoots out of like this woman because the baby really wanted a Dorito. That commercial is so old. I really should look it up. Like, that's how I can tell, because the reason why I know that that's when that came out is because he showed like 6 YouTube comedy videos to like keep people like entertained. And when I do this, like literally the guy who was trying to sell you real estate, like the foolproof real estate, was like, hey guys, pay attention. Up here, once in a lifetime deal. Hey, he like snapped at you. I'm like sitting around people who are wealthy, that are well-off, wealthy people. Like, does anyone like getting snapped at? Does anyone like getting snapped at? I think the answer is maybe, but that's definitely not my fetish. All right, that's definitely not what I like. I mean, like, possibly. But how many of those people were in the audience? I doubt it. Doubt many. Anyways, did that. It was so weird. Then I got Q&A session after we eat. This ticket came with a meal. It was one of the focal points, was a meal with Gary Vee. And what they did was they cleared everyone else out of the auditorium, out of the hockey rink, except for us, supposedly, but not really. And then they gave us like pre-made sub sandwiches, like turkey sub sandwich, for your, you know, however much it was, I don't know. And then Gary came out. When like Gary came out, I was the first one up on that stage, and I was like, Gary, what can I do for you to give you maximum value? I really want this position. I am a creator position on your team, and what can I do? He told me to send him an email. Haven't heard anything back yet. But that happened. It was amazing. I got to like high five Gary Vee, which was sweet. Like, dabbed him, actually, I think. I was like back to high school. And then other people had questions, and you know, whatever. And then Tony Robbins came out, and there was like 3.5 hours with Tony Robbins, and he was talking about all this cool stuff, which I don't really remember. No, I mean, I do. A lot of the stuff that I've learned in gratitude training, and like changing your posturing and how you think, and to like change your way of being, basically, in my terms. I mean, you change your posturing, you like get up, and he was having you recognize when you were depressed or when you were scared, and like and when you were scared and intimidated, like introduce yourself, but introduce yourself being in these different posture, like these different mental states. And then he had you do it like if you're excited, or if you know, had the best, like you just saw your best friend, and how you act like that, and what's your breathing like, and like noticing your breath, how your face looks, how loud you speak, and then seeing that those are correlations, and that you can manipulate yourself to change your attitude by like changing your posturing, which was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. What else did he speak into? He spoke into coming from a state of heart, like your heart awareness, and coming from a state of heart awareness to make decisions and make decisions on things that you have a hard time processing with your brain. So to get in tune with the beat of your heart, and coming from a space of coming from that space is going to affect you, and you can make decisions, or it's helpful to recognize how you're coming from when you're going from your heart instead of your brain, and seeing that. A really interesting, cool point, which is what like he ended his seminar with. And then there was also something about, you know, feeling old, and how like people can tell you things and it can manipulate you. And he got into a lot of things where it was what do I want to say? A lot of things where he was bringing up examples of really old people who do really extraordinary things, and that he went and searched them all out because somebody said that, like, oh, you're 39 now, isn't it hard to do what you do? And he was like, yeah, it is. I'm 39. And he was seeing himself now. That idea sank into him, so he like went and traveled the world to find like these really old athletes, which was really interesting. I thought it was interesting. I guess that's all I'll say about Tony Robbins. Got to give him a high five. So I've given high fives to Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk, which was amazing. Met some people. Then after that seminar, it was like 9 p.m. by the time I got back, and just passed out. That was Friday. Saturday came around. Got coffee, walked around Salt Lake City downtown, took a few photos, but it was really cold and like rainy. Then went to the Comic-Con, had my friend Adrian, we went to the Comic-Con together, and that was fun. It was exciting for me. It was a new experience for her. Didn't really do much of what we thought we were going to do when we were there, but I dressed up and got to smack some kids in the face with a pillow. I dressed up as Slumber Party Deadpool, and I brought a pillow with me, and I got to like hit kids with this pillow, and that should be done again. I'm pretty sure I should redo that costume because it was A, super easy, and B, really fun to hit people with a pillow, or like line up with people who were gonna like with giant machine swords and all this shit, right? And I would like line up with a pillow. Very, I think, Deadpool. Very Deadpool. You know he's gonna get his shit stomped, but who cares? Like, life's short. But not for Deadpool. Did that. Drank a little bit. Watched TV when we got back. Hung out. Saturday. I mean, amazing, right? That would have been like the highlight of my week going to Salt Lake City. We went to like this Rick and Morty panel, but with just like bloggers and vloggers. It was kind of funny because there's like nobody from the show. I thought there was gonna be like people from the show, and there was like no description of it in like the guidebook. You needed to download an app, which I didn't have, so I had no idea what it was. But it was good. Like, it was fun to get that insight. And then I got to see the costume competition, which was fun. We sat in like the front row in these reserved seats. I'm like, whatever, let's just sit in these seats. We like walked in unknowingly into like the back of the front of the room, and it was filled up from the back of the room, and we just sat in these nice seats and watched people. A couple of really cool costumes. My favorite was like this War Machine costume that had like a minigun that moved, and like his hands lit, and then he had like the guns, and like the guns came out and came back. So a lot of cool moving parts. And then other things, other costumes. There was like a really cool like Lich King costume, which I thought was from Finn and Jake, but there must be more Lich Kings, because I mean, it was a really intense, huge it didn't look like the Lich King from Finn and Jake, so I'm not sure what it was from. And the announcers never like announced what they were from, really. Well, like they only announced what they said. Like, I don't know how they did the announcements, but whatever, I digress. Yeah, and that night we ate pizza, pepperoni and mushroom pizza. That was Saturday. Doing pretty good here, feeling good, like my brain works. Sunday took like half the day to get going, more than half the day. Then we like drove up this mountainside to go to Oktoberfest, which was super fun, and it was snowing out. Like, so 2 days ago in Arizona, and blizzard, like it dropped multiple feet, I'm pretty sure, on top of that mountain. And I went up there today, which is Tuesday, and it's like almost all gone already. But yeah, had like a little snowstorm up there. Oktoberfest, fun though, very fun. I had a great time. We both entered like this male and female competitions to hit these nails in it, and I hit this nail and like nailed it. Anyways, and it was the first one to get the nail flush out of like any of the competition. Like, we destroyed the other team. Our team destroyed the other team, and I was all like, go, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like being the cheerleader for our team, and having us win, and it was so much fun. Didn't win, like, there was only one winner out of a team of 5 people, and it was like audience decided. Whatever, didn't win. He got to go on a ski lift by himself, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, we went so we did that, and then after that we went like, so that was like between 4 and 6 p.m. and then from 6 to 8 p.m. we went up into the spa, on the top of this like rooftop spa, and like overlooking these trees that were covered in snow and just swaying in the breeze, and it was so cool. And I was sitting outside in this hot tub, and the snow is snowing on us, and it was just like, you know, those pins and needles, but to this point of being like just very refreshing. And then we went in the sauna, and I felt like I was in a Halls commercial, like, breathe, my friend. It was all like sauna and that all up in us. And then we looked out onto these trees, these like evergreens that were just swaying like very slightly in the breeze. And it was mesmerizing. This was like a mesmerizing event after drinking like 4 giant beers, or, you know, like 22-ounce beers when I don't drink that much. And going out there was like, wow. Amazing. Had this amazing time. And then that was like the end of our night. I think we just like ate leftovers, which was delicious. Oh, there was barbecue. One of our nights we had barbecue. Oh, I think it was like Saturday or Friday night where we had barbecue. Like we had barbecue, and I'm like, I haven't had barbecue for a couple days, but it was actually like the day before when I was in Arizona I had barbecue, and then I had barbecue again, which was funny. But anyways, we had all these leftovers. That was Sunday night. Like the food that I've gotten to eat here, and the coffee and the drinks and everything. I mean, my friend has just provided for me. Adrian has just provided so much for me here, and like ticket to go to see Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, and a ticket to go see the Salt Lake City, Salt Lake City Comic-Con, and just so much. She's just provided so much, and had this amazing, delicious, fun-filled time here. It's just crazy. I've gotten to spend a lot of time with her, and it's been really good. She's been showing me around, and I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I don't think I would have even come to Salt Lake City. It was so far out of the way, and now I'm here, and I'm like having a hard time leaving, which is always what happens when I get like really comfortable and in like a really nice, comfortable position. I digress. So Monday happened. Monday, basically, all I did was print out these prints for Adrian and frame them all and sign the frames, and did that like all day. And then at night, we left her apartment and went to Park City, and I took some photos, and we had this delicious meal. I had this like bison meatloaf. Like, I just wanted meatloaf because it was freezing. I was frozen. It has been really cold. Today's been like a pretty beautiful day, like in the 60s, and even up on the mountain. I went up to the mountain today, and like it was like 50s, but it has been really ridiculously cold. So I was frozen. I don't think I was frigid, but I was frozen, and I got meatloaf, and that was delicious, and she got a meal, and I got to have some of her meal, and that was delicious, and then we had flan at the end, and that was delicious, and I just enjoyed that. It was one of the most enjoyable meals, and just being like on the side of this mountain, and where the Olympics were, and it was so cool. I just had like such a great time. And then we watched Rick and Morty and a little bit more content, and that was it. And that was like our day. That's been my long weekend. Thursday to Monday the 25th. Thursday to 21st to Monday the 25th has been an amazing long weekend, and I'm still here in Salt Lake City. So tomorrow's daily show, which is going to be daily again, is going to feature what I've done today. I don't know, but I'm super excited about something because it's Tuesday. I'll let you figure that one out. And just having an amazing time. I love life so much. It's the only game in town, and it's great. I feel so good. Cared for and loved and appreciated and excited and joyful. I just feel like I should be nowhere else. And it's amazing to feel like that. To feel like that like all the time. Like my decision is the right decision because I made it. And it might not look like it's the right decision right now, but soon I'll understand why I made it. Like, how does this affect me? And getting that value out of everything has just been really beautiful. Having such a great time. Nice. Peace. There should be some clips, and I'll try to order them correctly. Once again, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.